that overpromising and fear of saying no. Great topic, great email that came in, and I think we can all relate to it on some level. Roll it! Welcome back to another video where we've been talking about patience, overpromising, and trying to keep a balance so that we stay happy, stay motivated, and keep moving in the right direction. Today's email comes from somebody who's been struggling with this whole saying no, identifying themselves as a yes man, and really trying to find a balance and how does this all fit together. Jumping into it. Hi Nikos, I keep over-promising people. I am a sucker. I watched your video and I was like, yep, that's me. I'm a yes man sucker. My boyfriend left me last week. I kept saying yes to everything. The day I realized he was taking advantage of me, I started saying no, but he always manipulated me to say yes. Over 3 months of him doing it to me. I finally stood my ground and bam, he took off. Good for you. Standing your ground is hard. Don't get me wrong. This is good. So just be proud of yourself. I'm glad I did it, but I hate myself for him leaving me. I feel like I screwed up. Is it normal to feel like others will leave if I say no? My counselor says no, and I should focus on it. Well, this is a good point that you're bringing up. You stood your ground and somebody left. It tells you a lot, and it really speaks volumes of the type of person this person was. Like, it's just simple economics of the whole transaction between two people. Any kind of relationship, there's a balance that has to be maintained, and this is done through boundaries. And the Yes Man video, it was these boundaries. It applies to both males and females. And you know, in your email here, you go into it that it was 3 months, and what was this person doing? They were manipulating you. You were patient through this, and you were trying to adjust, and you were trying to accommodate for their needs, but at the same time you were trying to maintain a balance with your needs. And then all of a sudden they started using manipulation tactics to get you to maintain status quo to what they had established as normal in the relationship. Being that yes person and saying yes to everybody, and then realizing it one day that you are this yes person that keeps saying yes to everything, and then saying, hey, I'm gonna put a stop to this right now. It brings out the negativity of other people. It's not your negativity, it's their negativity. So what do I mean by this? Well, this negativity that's coming out is not your end. Your end is just you saying no. But when somebody has adjusted to the fact that you keep saying yes, saying no will be weird to them, and a negative perceived value comes out of that. They're attributing it to you and why you're saying no, and not really looking at them as themselves, not understanding that they've been really taking advantage of your yes supernatural powers and being able to say yes to everything for them. So yes, it will be perceived as a negative value to them. Going through this process and integrating a new mindset to say no to people on things that really bring you down as a person, devalue you because you're not one with yourself and not sticking to your integrity and making sure you say yes or no according to these values. Well, this is a learning stage, is a growth period, and because of it, the people that you normally have around you, well, they're either gonna like the new you or not like it. They're either gonna respect the new you or not like it, and their ability to want to remain and put an effort into the friendship or any kind of relationship will be based on that respect for you, on saying no to the things that you want to be saying no to and saying yes to the things you want to be saying yes to. So in the email here, you're saying, hey, is it normal to feel like others will leave if I say no? And then saying my counselor says no and I should focus on it. I think you're referring to your counselor saying no, it is normal, and no, people won't leave necessarily, so focus on saying no. I think he's or she's going through that mindset, and I think how you've written the email, you're kind of stating it that way. The fact is this, people will leave, plain. People will leave because they have to leave, because the story that you guys had together is going to change. The moment you are in any kind of relationship and you start saying no to things you would normally say yes because you were doing it not for the right reasons, well, they're gonna see a change in the yes to a no, and they're not gonna like it. So the things that you typically said yes to and you should have been saying no to, but you felt that you had to, and eventually decided, hey, I'm gonna say no to those things now, they're gonna wonder why. They're gonna take it as a personal insult, and they're gonna take it on themselves from a negative perspective, and it's gonna rebound to how we started this video, and that negativity it's a self-perceived value of themselves, nothing to do with you. And that will now adjust the boundaries of that relationship you had built. And everything is based on these boundaries, is based on being able to create strong boundaries around each person's values in a relationship, and being able to accommodate for those values, being able to bring a balance between wants and needs of the two people, and not allowing the boundaries to be crossed. When you start saying no all of a sudden, well, people aren't going to like that, and yes, people will leave. It's simple economics of relationships. This is it. Like, they will leave, and you don't need to worry about that, because at the end of the day, the right people will stay. And the other thing that will happen is it will open the door for more right people to come in, because now you're going to start practicing and being really patient with this practice, because you'll be working on saying no more often when you have to say no, when you know you need to say no, when you're going to be happy saying no. The reality is very simple on this. And if you look at the example of this boyfriend that left, well, you said it yourself, he was manipulating you. Why would you want to stay with anybody in your life? Forget boyfriends and girlfriends and all that. Why would you want anybody in your life that is manipulating you to get what they want? They know they can manipulate you and get what they want, so they're doing it. Is that really who you want in your life? I can tell you this, any time you look at any person that is a manipulative sort, they don't remain in people's lives for too long, especially when people finally face up to reality and start sticking up for themselves. And this goes a long way with, when we speak to the whole idea behind bullying, and it's like, once you stand up for yourself, well, the bully doesn't know how to handle that. It's like, oh, and there's a huge new type of conflict that occurs where it's a make or break moment where you do have to stand up for yourself. Is it a good thing? Yes, it is a good thing. Is it a feeling you're gonna feel? Yes, you're gonna feel in this manner. It's simple. You will feel this emotion taking over. This idea that you're saying here, is it normal to feel like others will leave if I say no? Everybody feels this. I read this again like that, so we know it's exactly how you're saying it. Everybody feels this. Everybody goes through this. Everybody knows that when they say no, there is a risk in saying no. This is why it's so hard to say no. This is why people struggle with saying no. They're scared to move forward. They're scared to ask for what they deserve and what is in accordance to their value-based system, and they'd rather take the easy route to say yes and suffer through that than lose what they really want. And the reality is that in most cases they won't lose it, especially if they start the relationship in that manner and sticking to their boundaries and not letting their boundaries break. And this fear will eventually subside, and eventually, as you keep practicing it, you won't have that fear, because it's not only the fear of saying no, it's the fear of losing that person you're saying no to. It's the fear of somebody not sticking around. Our ego is saying say yes or they respect you, but really the no will get that respect you're looking for. That trust will be built through no. That respect, trust, and love comes all in sequence with you saying no at the right times, saying yes at the right times, and growing a strong relationship, because those boundaries are based off of that yes and no, and the accommodation for the other person's boundaries and them saying yes or no. It's a give and take, and eventually it does not matter who the person is, manipulation and all these other narcissistic tactics people use, well, they don't last in relationships, and that's because relationships don't last when those things are the highlight of the relationship. So take some time and really ask yourself, where's the reality in the people that are in your life? Where's that value they're bringing? Is it reality value or is it perceived value? The value you think they're bringing. And when you do say no, and if they do leave, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things of where you are headed with your life? Will it make, in 10 years, 20 years, a big difference if that person leaves because you are trying to be a better person, to have a better life, and to be better in general for you? A true person wants to sit there and help you become the better version of you. That's a true person in your life, a true friend, a true significant other, any kind of relationship. It's that person wants to see you become the next best version of you. So when you say no and they leave, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like if you like what you see, and of course, leave a comment and share your idea behind saying no. And when you did start saying no, how did it feel? What did you see? And how did you come out of the whole thing? Who knows? Somebody might read your comment and you might help change a life.